All right, welcome to me attempting to do a very large gesture drawing here. I'm going to actually be using a roller acrylic paint and really just trying to block in really quickly an image here. And I'm just going to be looking for the motion, looking for the movement that's going to be that I'll be building the painting on top of. So I will come back in and refine a lot of these big shapes either today, after class or tomorrow during our Thursday session, and kind of getting into the detail and all of that. But right now, I'm going to do a giant gesture drawing or painting on this. And so this is the part where you guys wish me luck. And I go pull out a roller. It just feels bizarre.
Well, frankly, it is bizarre, Michael.
Yeah. We wouldn't have it any other way, right?
No.
Michael, how big is this?
30 inches by 40 inches.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So first thing I always do is kind of figure out my horizon line. I'm going to put it right about here.
Not a very cooperative roller.
Yep. Let's get some water on that roller.
A bunch of little people.
Yeah, you guys don't know that I'm actually just painting a line of penguins. That was perfect. Wow. Okay. So there we got that. At least I know where well, let's go ahead and get our darks. Man, this roller's so thirsty. Maybe if I spray the roller with water.
I saw a line of little cedars the other day. I thought, well, they're Mississippi penguins.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, hopefully the roller will start getting permeated with paint and won't be so
Staticky.
not sure I'm saving myself any time or not. All right.
I think a 2-inch chip might have been faster.
Might have been. All right, next I'm gonna paint some big horizontals and verticals here.
Sorry.
Yeah.
This is gonna be kind of a big, almost vertical. That's kind of working. See the sponge that is the roller is getting pretty full of paint. So now it's a little better. Another kind of slightly angled horizontal.
If you stop now, it looks like a modern art painting.
Yeah, it'd be worth way more if I would just stop.
Yeah.
Now, have we seen the reference?
I'm not showing it to you.
Okay, that works. All right.
We're all
You guys
going
are
to
gonna have
run
to-
out and get 30 by 40s.
You're gonna have to guess. I'll show it to you at the end, but
We need a little mystery sometime.
yeah,
It's the
I
Martian.
give you guys so much already.
I'll trust you.
Mr. Stay Puft on a bad day.
That's right.
He's feeling a little gray. your paint roller almost made a landscape already.
Really?
Yeah.
You've got the suggestion of trees in there.
Yeah, my penguins have become trees.
So you're using a roller instead of a really large brush.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why you would use a brush instead of a roller for a large?
Yeah. If you were smart, you would use a brush.
Are you going to do this again?
No, I'm just going to come across it with a brush here in just a second and
Okay.
figure out some of these shapes a little better. No, this roller I was just kind of thought would be a funny experiment. I've never done this before.
Okay, I was wondering.
I do not suggest this. This is one of those do not try at home.
But it might work for an underpainting.
It's going to.
Got to.
At this
It
rate, you
has
could
to.
have done that as a wipeout.
Yeah, I mean, not with acrylics, but yeah.
Yes, well, depends how you want to do it, but
All right, I am out of Payne's Gray, so I need to squeeze some more of that on there. And I'm going to go ahead and retire the roller. Thank you for your service. See you again, never. I'm just putting them in the sink really quick, running some water so it doesn't dry out. All right, let's go to the brush. All right, we can just pretend I did that with a brush. I'm gonna need more. There we go. Lots of Payne's Gray. All right, well, let's grab a nice big house brush here. Is that what Stuart Davies uses as house brushes and stuff?
Yeah.
Uses chip brushes like you do.
Okay, well, this is an actual house painting brush. So I'm just gonna kind of,
You use those too.
some of those are more expensive than other brushes.
yeah, that's true. They can be. Some water on there. Again, I'm still just trying to keep it really nice and hopefully fairly gestural. Just gonna get rid of that line. It didn't work. What happened with that line is I was breaking this into too many even pieces. So not needed. Thank you for your service. Thanks for playing. It just got cut out of the movie.
Giving you a heads up.
Keep talking, Michael.
All right. Put it, if you put the view not to speaker view, but to, I don't know what it is. I should be spotlighted for everybody. Yeah, so I'm just kind of carving into that roller shape and not totally positive I like this shape, so I might just mix up some of those darker grays just a little bit to kind of, I think maybe, I don't know, kind of like what's going on, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna grab a ruler really quick. So I want to make sure my horizon line is at least sort of straight. So I use a big T square here. I'm gonna push it up against it. Chopping the heads off all my little penguins. Studio is so messy, I don't know where to put the ruler. Want this whole line down here a little lighter. And again, I'm just blocking in. I know I can kind of come in and refine everything. I'm just trying to, it's like my underpainting with a focus on the gesture. Big active shapes. So I kind of want this to be kind of horizontal with almost little bits of branches kind of coming off. All right. I'm gonna give this a quick scrape with the paper towel just because I got some really thick white paint here that is gonna take a long time to dry and I want it to dry quickly. So I'm just taking off the extra paint. Now comes where it becomes a little more serious here. What brush do I want for this? I might actually just grab a real brush that I have a little control over. Still my biggest good brush. I could use a chip brush. My next shape is going to be pretty dark. And it's kind of going to go from here to here to here to here. up into here. So let's I actually want more of a concave shape to some of this. This is the penguin in the foreground here. One look at getting into the way of the camera.
It could be Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so within this weird shape that I've just built, I'm gonna have some other gestures. One is gonna kind of come here. Another is gonna come here. So I'm just mixing up a slightly lighter dark. Anybody kind of see what it is?
Like a big old rocky cliff.
Rock.
There you go.
Iceberg.
Yeah, I
Iceberg.
think so.
That would explain all the penguins.
Oh, yeah.
So that white underneath, I didn't let it dry. So it's, bleeding through as I try to scrub in, which is fine because I get to keep painting on this very quickly. I'm being lazy and adding water because I've run out of a Payne's gray again. So I'm just adding water to the little bit that's on there versus just putting out more Payne's gray. Use some of this white here to kind of mix in and give a little bit of the structure. That I want to imply on these rocks. Yeah, the one big difference I found with acrylics, and maybe this is Cheryl's doing, is because she told me about it, is I do like to start with that mid-value gray,
Mm-hmm.
a mid-value, and work, you know, both into my darks and my lights. And with oils, I work from dark to light as a general rule, but with acrylics, because of their drying time, I haven't found that as necessary. And a lot of times with acrylics, I will actually come back in, knowing I'll come back in with darks, and I can actually add some detail. Like I could actually come in with some black and
Yeah.
figure out the creases and the crevices and the, you know, dark parts of these rocks. I'm just trying to make some room to put out some more paint. So I'm just kind of scraping my palette a little bit. Man, I'm going to go through a whole tube of how much I've used. Let's just get this covered. And then we can get into our interesting shapes. Because right now it's just big and bold and kind of gnarly. I just want to get my biggest shapes knocked in. So just like oils, with oils, I like to do from dark to light and from big to small, meaning my bigger shapes, and then working my way into my little shapes. So I've got this big rock here, and then I can start, you know, breaking that up. Like I can come back in with some real dark here and say, you know what, there's a dark crevice here. Got to clean my brush. There's a dark crevice here, right? So I can kind of come back in and keep detailing. And I don't want to refine anything because you're going to see here in a little bit. And I would also probably want to live with this rock formation and see if I actually like that shape. It's kind of interesting though, isn't it?
Yes.
That's what gets me in trouble the most when I do these tree paintings. Isn't the tree itself, it's almost always that the rocks are not well designed. Because I'm often just kind of making them up. I treat them like an afterthought and it shows. All right, so anyways, good enough for right now because I know I will come back in. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a shop brush. Or 3.
Michael, I have to leave right now too, so I just wanted to thank you for today and I look forward to next week.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being in the class and for hanging out as long as you did. I really appreciate it.
Michael, did you say we don't have Thursdays anymore?
We don't have a link for Thursdays, but I'm hoping we'll have Thursdays still. I just need to figure out how to use my wife's Zoom because we can't use the OSA Zoom account on Thursdays.
Okay. We won't have class tomorrow though, right?
That is my goal and plan, and I'll shoot you an email one way or the other.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise we could change it to a different day, but I didn't want to do that too much. Thursdays seem to be the best.
Right after a class, we're all enthused.
Right, and if I did
Yeah.
it like on Tuesday, you guys would be like, well, I'm not doing my homework till Tuesday. the day before class.
Then we'd really get in trouble.
Yeah.
Get the ruler out and slap us around, huh?
What's that?
You'll get the ruler out and slap us around.
Yeah, exactly. The virtual ruler. Or I'll just have to ask you guys to do it yourselves. Would you smack your own hand with a ruler, please?
Isn't that what you do when you try to paint something?
What's that?
Isn't that what you try to do when you're painting?
Yeah, a
Smacking
little
yourself.
bit. For sure. So a lot of times before I put a stroke down, I've kind of instinctually for a lot of my career done where I just kind of imagine the gesture. I kind of almost do like little practice runs of where do I want it and what's the shape that I would like it to do.
I'll have to tell you, there's a bearded warrior in the right side of that rock. He's got a beard. He's looking right at you. And he's in some kind of old-fashioned clothes. Look at his top, his belt.
Half the time when you say that, I'm scared to see it. I don't want to see it.
Oh, boy.
I didn't know Josh was around.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
There you go.
Yeah, one of the guys in our group is does a lot of like Dungeons and Dragons kind of imagery. Actually, he's a tattooist, but he loves doing illustrations for
Well, that's
that genre.
that's kind of the genre it looks like.
That's funny.
So what size brush are you using for that foliage? If you don't
It's a really beat up shop brush. So this
Ah,
is like those 45-cent house brushes.
right. Okay,
And the worse they get, the better they get sometimes.
nice, thanks.
Yep. Just saved you hundreds of dollars.
You can get a whole box of different sizes on Amazon for practically nothing,
Yeah, I think they end up at about 35 cents a piece.
something like that. Michael, please tell me that's going to be a tree.
Yep.
I was really nervous about trying to make a cloud out of that.
This is the hair and these are the eyes. The
There
nose.
you go, another person.
Yep. I think one Linda in our class is enough.
My goodness.
Is Linda O'Connor coming back?
Oh, yeah. Linda O'Connor and Gail are in the class. Yeah, there's probably like 3 or 4 people that weren't able to
Okay.
make it today. All right, here comes the part where I have to get a little more serious. We need some trunks. And then I will probably let it sit. But this part's kind of scary. Shouldn't be, because I can remix any of these values and just kind of come in and cover it up and fix it, which I'll probably be doing anyways. See if I can get this brush to make a fine enough line. Or maybe I go back to that brush that I was doing the grasses with just to get a very preliminary sketch. And it's got a really long bristle, so it can make kind of flowy marks. So I know that it ends here, and I probably want to bring it all the way back to here. So kind of coming down, And up. Can you guys see that, or do I need to move the camera closer? It comes up from here. And maybe off of here. And again, this is just the kind of rough laying in. I'm just kind of getting some ideas. So when I'm putting down 2 trunks, I want to make sure that my 3rd trunk is not equidistant from these. So I'm going to move it a little further away. Four trunks. Uh-oh, that's dangerous. Always odd numbers.
Yes, always.
Let's bring in another guy then.
Trees don't know that. That's a human condition.
It's weird though, when you put in even numbers, how it all of a sudden feels more mechanical and less natural. It
Yeah.
is a weird human condition.
And there's an awful lot of things in nature that are odd numbers rather than even numbers. There's some flowers that have even like 4 petals, but not many.
Yeah, that's why they're lucky.
Or is a lucky number?
Or leaf clover. That's my wife's special gift. She sees them all the time.
Do too. Of the-
I never see them. My wife will find like 10 and she keeps making me crazy. So then I, of course, start looking and I never see them.
Need another Guinness.
Luckily, yeah, exactly. Luckily, she's got enough luck for the both of us. Just kind of sketching their shapes. They're not going to be little tiny skinny trees. That would be silly. Big guys paint big trees. With trees, they generally are going to be wider at the base, of course, getting thinner. And then the same thing happens with the branches. They're generally thinner as they go further away from the trunk. So what time do we start? 12:30. So I'm literally into this painting for 30 minutes. And look how much damage I've done.
Impressive.
Yes.
Right? And I mean, it's nowhere near a beautiful painting by any stretch, but I've really started to figure some things out about it. You know, it's going to take a lot of work, but it is fun to paint quickly, looking for that gesture, looking for the movement, you know, and all of it has its own gesture. All of it had its line. You saw me come through and kind of outline this. And just the big thing is I want this kind of C shape in here. And the horizontal, vertical, horizontal. Down here, I'll get to have surf coming against these rocks, and we'll have kind of a dark the darkest wave. Probably not that much of an angle. Darkest wave, kind of like at this angle in the foreground. Can you kind of see that a little bit?
Yeah.
I'm running out of, that paint's gray, man. I've had to refill it so many times.
You need to
There.
buy a jar.
Yeah. There we go. So yeah, I'll have these kind of angles coming this way with the little bits of surf. I don't want big waves, I don't think. And then it kind of leads into here to here and back.
Gonna be gorgeous.
And then the sun is going to be coming from my left side, hitting into the cloud. And I'm trying to decide if I just illuminate the left side, if I illuminate the top and not the bottom, where the light's just kind of hitting here, maybe the top of this tree. I'm not sure. So I got to figure all that out.
I like the
But,
top idea.
Yeah, and then maybe there's just some big rocks over here on the left. I can't even see my arm. Big rocks over here, left side. They're casting a shadow across here. But there we go. 35 minutes of straight destruction. This was a beautiful, happy white canvas at one point.
I think it's really cool. I like it better than the other two.
Will we
Like
get to see you finish it?
Would you like to?
Yeah.
If we had a Thursday.
Yeah, will you be able to join tomorrow?
I don't know. Same time, right?
9 o'clock, 9 to noon.
Yeah.
Okay, so 12 to, okay.
Are you gonna?
And that means I've actually got us a Zoom place to meet. So
Will this be an acrylic painting, or are you gonna switch over to oils?
I'll probably take it really far with acrylics and then come through and glaze it with oils.
Yeah.
Because I've been trying to glaze with acrylics. I was going to show you guys some acrylic paintings that I've been doing. I showed the last class some of these. So all of these were done with black and white. Actually, I actually sold a bunch of them already, which is kind of cool. But they were done in black and white.
Ooh.
And then I just glazed into them.
Oh, wow.
Michael, you made the edges on those black.
That one's
Yeah.
stunning. I love that one.
So that's where I just left the black and white and only added color into that line along the horizon.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is,
this one sold the fastest.
I would have bought that in 2 seconds.
That's one of my favorites.
Let me see. Got to be a couple more left. Here's one.
What a problem to have, huh?
Yeah, no, it was pretty crazy.
Wow. So nice. Very nice.
Yeah, and this one's almost monochromatic, but just little bits where I put it really thin with the gray, it becomes kind of a greenish because and then I put dashes of white that I came and glazed in with yellow.
It's an oil
Oh,
glaze.
I don't know why I'm putting it on the wrong side of the light. So
An
there you can
oil
see it.
glaze.
What's that?
Is it the glaze in oil?
No, I glazed these with acrylics,
Oh,
but glazing with acrylics is a lot harder than glazing with oils.
oh, wow, that.
You have to have the right medium.
That's
Yeah,
so
well, yeah. But what's really fun is that I can glaze and 20 minutes later I can glaze again. 20 minutes later I can glaze again, where with oils I have to wait days or a week.
Yeah.
And you're always scared that you're gonna destroy the previous layers. So yeah,
You're having fun.
it's been fun. So I mean, I'll be able to do that with these other ones that we did. You know, you can picture, even though it's a big sloppy painting,
Mm.
Yeah, I could.
you can totally picture pink and blue and
Yeah, yeah.
man, this looks like chaos.
Wonderful chaos.
Yes.
Yeah, but we'll keep working on them. And then here's two others that I just glazed. One with the phthalo green that I had left over.
Oh,
So
wow.
this was glazed with oils. But doesn't that look like an old-timey tonalist painting?
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
Does.
And there's just a hint of red underneath it that I really liked.
Yes. Wow.
And then here's
Oh.
with the warm colors.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
so
Oh, gorgeous.
glazing is fun, and we're gonna work on that in class. I'll show you glazing in acrylics and glazing in oils. Yep, and then here's, if you didn't see it before, this is one of my favorites of the new ones. That was the
Yeah.
leftover paints from the demo I did with you, Graham.
I
That's
like that.
love that. What is that? What is on a board?
Panel again.
Ah,
Yeah, that was a fun one. That one
That's
sold too.
oh, dang.
Hmm.
Yeah, I showed them to the Sunday group, and one of the guys bought 2 of them and told me, he's like, you should just put those for sale. And I was like, I don't know if they're done. He's like, just put them for sale. And I sold 6 more that afternoon. So
Wow.
he was right.
And you
Always
had a lot
listen.
of fun with them and you didn't worry about them.
That's right. Yeah, they were all just experiments.
You need to do that more.
So what kind of glazing medium do you use for oils? I'm sorry, I did not mean oils, I misspoke. Acrylics.
I used retarder,
A return.
which is just slows down the drying time a little bit.
Okay.
Also, they make
I
a
use-
specialized.
Glazing
I use
medium.
Yeah, so do I. I use Golden's glazing medium, which has retarder, and it also it makes it more
Yeah, a little bit
transparent.
of retarder in there.
Yeah, and I would probably use a nice brand. I just bought like a $4 thing of it because again, with acrylics right now, like people are like, "What brand do you use?" I'm like, "All of them,
Yeah.
whatever one is cheapest."
Okay.
I mean, some of them are literally just full on kids, you know,
Mhm.
kids ones.
But if you're gonna actually be able to sell those and make some money on them, it would be nice to get a better quality paint so it doesn't flake off someday.
Oh.
Right. Hopefully it won't. I put a varnish over the top. Actually, on some of these, what I'm doing too is I'm experimenting with putting a layer, a transparent layer in between my glazes so that the light has room to get
Yeah.
in and
Yeah.
bounce around.
Hmm.
So things that I can do with oil or acrylics that I can't really do with oils that I'm just having fun experimenting and playing with. This shape right here is bad, right? It needs to cut in, huh?
I think so.
Actually, it works better before you put in the rock. I was wondering, what is this going to be? But it doesn't bother me as much. I don't know.
You're right, they're kind of evenly spaced.
Yeah, and now that I've got the trees, I can kind of come back in and, like this
Yeah.
kind of where this and this meet so perfectly. It's a little bit weird. It's a triangle.
Yeah.
So I've got adjusting to do. I almost said it in my head like I Love Lucy.
Where do you get those small boards that you paint on?
These ones,
Yes,
American Easel.
like online?
Yeah, but they're in Salem.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're really cool.
American?
And yeah, this one is actually built for gambling. And gambling, they fit tubes of paint and there's a bunch of paints in there.
Ah,
Neat.
But they let me buy a bunch of them really inexpensive that were slightly dinged up. But yeah, you can see these in art stores where they just have all whatever paint series it is. Like this is our plein air set, this is our portraiture set, and they just fit in there, and you get a panel with it, which I think is a really cool packaging idea.
that is a great idea. And then you just gesso the top of it, or is it? You gesso?
Yeah, I just gesso on top and then house paint on the sides. And when I'm being really good, I'll put primer on the back to preserve it fully, but not always.
Okay.
Sometimes you're bad.
Sometimes there's just so much to do. I could be prepping panels all my life and never paint.
Yeah.
All right, gang, let's swap cameras over here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. I'm gonna have a lot of fun going in and just kind of adjusting the values and things. And the cool thing is I could go over and just paint, you know, darken the sky. I can do all sorts of stuff because all of this is basically my loose underpainting. And then I can come over the top of it and adjust and, you know, refine and make these rocks craggy or whatever I want to do. So basically my whole goal was to get it covered quickly so that I can begin to judge and adjust and work from there. What'd you think, Brett? Seeing me actually paint, not just talk about it.
It
No,
sounds
actually, I was
outstanding.
painting along with you, and I learned a hell of a lot just following through. So I
Yeah,
did
cool,
post a
man.
couple of my, but I was using a tablet. So you got with the brush, you got a lot more sharpness. The tablet really softens shit. But
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no, I was having a good old time, and I was enjoying it. And like just doing your trees there, I've been trying to do trees, and that just was really fascinating how you did it. I attempted to do some, but so no,
Yeah, and what's great with the tablet is you can make a huge brush. Like I was trying to use a roller. You can just build
Yeah.
a, you know, 300-point brush and knock
Yep.
it in real fast. So
no, like I say, the thing about a tablet compared, also you're using a clip, so you get a lot sharper edge. The tablet really dull, you don't get a sharp edge on it. So depending on the tool you use.
but you
So,
should be able to just adjust the brush edge quality.
yeah, I'm just not that good with it yet. So
No worries. I mean, I'm speaking out of my butt. I have no idea. I've never really done it,
no,
but I've watched my daughter do it a lot and she's really good
Yeah.
at it. So
no, I was trying to get there. Then also I was blending a little bit. I think I over blended a little bit. So and I couldn't get black and white, so I was used a dark blue, and then I would kind of trade off and use it after the rocks. I made them a dark brown just because I didn't want to have too much blue in there. So
cool.
but no, this is cool. No, I'm still sitting here.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, let me stop sharing so we can see all you guys, or remove spotlight. And there we go. I can see Diane now.
Hi,
How you doing,
Diane.
Diane?
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Diane.
Hello. Change it to
I
gallery.
got my
maybe.
wine out. It's after 4.
Oh man, you guys, look how many people are still here. Okay, I thought I would surely scare off Maureen by now. Come on, Maureen, you're too tough. All right, well, thank you guys so much. It's really nice to see the returning students, and I welcome to the new students. And yeah, this is the first time I've ever taught gesture in painting, but I really thought it was important. And I think it's really for those of us who want to work on our brush strokes. I think Cheryl said that earlier. And edge quality. I mean, just have fun, make marks. Even if your gesture drawing that you turn in is only like 5 or 6 brush strokes, you know, take a photo of it then and then build it up more. So you can take pictures of it throughout the process and just really show us what's the gesture, what are you trying to capture? And yeah, I can't wait to see what you guys come up with and hear your joy and angst when you come back on, well, tomorrow or next Wednesday. And anyways, thank you guys so much. This is going to be a super fun class. We're going to learn so much together. And yeah, I'll see you all soon.
Take
Thank you,
care.
Michael.
Bye, everybody.
Bye for now.
Thank you all.
Great class.
We
Take
don't
care.
Bye.